Kara here, the Kinetic Knitter. Welcome to my very spontaneous venture into vlogging a new knitting podcast. I don't know. My cat's gonna be interruptive and we're just gonna deal with it, okay? So since Kenzie and I did the K2 Together podcast, I've been, there she comes, been wanting to have a podcast again, just to share about the things that I'm making and to talk about, I'm not gonna edit her out, it would be too many edits, and to talk about the yarn that I'm dyeing for the shop, all of those kinds of things. So here we are. No specific format, I just have a few things I want to touch on, pretty standard stuff, and then yeah, we'll see how it goes, and if it's fun and enjoyable and people like it, I'll keep doing it, and maybe I will get a more specific format down the road. But right now I'm just really in the mood to share, and I have the time and I'm excited. So with that, I'll just say, if you've never met me before, I'm the Kinetic Knitter. My name is Kara. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I dye yarn out of my home, and I sell it as the Kinetic Knitter on Etsy. Yeah, you can find out more on my Instagram page at the Kinetic Knitter. Okay, so with all of that said, I am going to start by talking about some of the inspiration that I have in my life as far as becoming a knitter and crocheter. And how I got into it. So my grandma on my dad's side taught me how to knit and crochet when I was really young. Maybe 9-ish years old. I spent a week during the summer at her house, and she taught my cousin and I how to do the fiber arts, knitting, crocheting. And I used to cross stitch and do all kinds of stuff like that. So anyway, she's my inspiration, and my grandparents on my mom's side are also very crafty. My grandma was always into embroidery, and my great grandma was really into quilting and crocheting as well. So there's tons of amazing women in my family who have made things for years and years. So I'm happy to carry on that legacy and continue making. I feel like I know that I'm the only grandchild on either side that has carried on the traditions of the fiber arts. So I'm happy to be able to do that. The first thing I want to share, maybe I'll start with acquisitions because it makes the most sense right now. So my grandma on my dad's side, who taught me to knit and crochet, passed away a few weeks ago, which was of course awful. I don't want to get emotional, so I'm not going to talk too crazy much about it, but it was really important to me that I got some of her tools, so her hooks, her needles, whatever crafting tools she had that I could carry on creating with. It just felt important to me. So I'm not being very eloquent right now. I don't know how to say these things. So anyway, the first thing I'm going to share is really special. It's this like old school vintage knitting basket that my grandma had. I guess my Uncle David, who passed away before I was born, gifted it to her, and then she gave it to my Aunt Barb, and then my aunt gave it to me. So it's really been through several generations of our family, and it feels very special, and it's beautiful. So I'm going to remove the cat from my lap so I can show you. It's filled with stuff right now, but look at this. It folds. It's got these amazing wooden handles, and the pattern on it is just so beautiful. So anyway, I'm very excited about it. It's very large, and it's holding a lot of projects right now. It's got my Chiaogu knitting needle set in there, and then this like vintage Susan Bates needle size, hook size, all the things. Anyway, I'm very grateful to have this to hold my projects. So that's the first acquisition I wanted to share. All right, so I'll share a few yarn acquisitions. I took a bit of a break from buying yarn, and I haven't shared any here, so some of it I've had for a bit, some of it is more recent, but yeah, I bought a bunch of yarn this weekend. So there's more coming in that I'll be able to share next time, but I'm pretty excited to share these. So this one was a total impulse buy. This is from Ruby and Roses. Let's see if I can get it to focus on the yarn. I have never, or maybe I have, I bought at least one kind of yarn from her before, but I saw this one and the hot pink really got my attention. So anyway, here we are. This is, what is this called? Sail Away, and then this must be Material Girl. Plump Rose base, which is a 8515 sock weight superwash merino nylon. Anyway, Ruby and Roses. I also got, I subscribed to the Shopland Merceries Year of Socks, and this is one of the months that I received. This is from Witchfire Fibres, and it's this gorgeous teal, oh yeah, it's already focusing, great, with this like tan and this cream mini. Let's see, what can I tell you about it? Double sock set, so superwash merino nylon, 80/20, 2-ply, and what is it called? Sol, S-O-L. So anyway, I was pretty excited to get this one. It's very pretty, and I love the holographic label. Okay, I'm going to fly through these because I feel like I have a lot to share and I don't want this episode to be an hour long. So locally, I'm in a knitting group called the Twin Knitties, play on the Twin Cities, and we had a knitting event in St. Paul at a yarn shop. Or no, I got this one in Stillwater at a yarn shop called Darn It Anyway, and it's by La Bien-Aimee, and I've never purchased her yarn before, so I was pretty excited to get it. It's really beautiful. Let's see if I can get it to focus. There we go. It's just a nice neutral grayish beige base with all these fun speckles. So I don't know what I'm gonna make with it yet, but I'm pretty excited. It's her merino super sock. It's a superwash merino nylon, and it's in the colorway Fiori. So very excited about this one. And the last thing I think I'll share, Allie of Explore Knits did one of those kind of mystery mini set things, and she had this really stunning set of bold colors, and I wanted them so bad, and I put in the notes that I was requesting bold, and I got them. So I was really excited. It's gonna crinkle, there's a bag, but anyway, this is them, and I love them. It's hard to see, but they're gorgeous. They remind me of the bold Crayola marker box of colors. I don't know what I'm gonna make, maybe some stripy socks, but I'm in love. Okay, so that's it as far as yarn acquisitions. The next thing I wanted to share, I guess I could share my whips next, or maybe I should share my finished objects. I'll do finished objects. I told you this is gonna just be all over the place. Okay, so I made this. This is called the Summer Camp Kerchief. And it is by, let me see, Ashley. Instagram name is designed by Sew and Sew, S-E-W. Yeah, and the yarn I used is by Hue Loco, and it's called Currant. It looks a little orangey red on screen, which it kind of is, but it's like a brick, like a nice brick red, and I love it. Red is my color. So I'm pretty excited about this. Just like something subtle I can wear around my neck in the fall. You can even, she has many ways that you can style it, but you could like wrap it as like a headband or tie it up like this. And you could keep it wrapped and just tie it around your neck for a little Parisian look. I think that would be cute too. So lots of options with this cute thing, and I got it done so quickly. It only took me a day or two. So if you need a quick one skein project to satisfy just kind of that instant gratification need, I highly recommend this project. Okay, next one was another instant gratification quick knit. Pearl Soho has a free pattern for the, I think it's called Double Thick Potholder. Anyway, it's knit in the round, and then you 3 needle bind off together the ends, and then you just kind of whip stitch the rest, and it turns out like this. It's really thick because, like I said, it's double thick. And I used the, I don't have the label, but it's the sugar and cream, I don't know. You know what I'm talking, that cotton yarn, the dishcloth yarn. That's what I used. So it's very nice. It's got a little hangy thing. This is the right side. Anyway, I love it. It would make a great gift knit, and it's a free pattern on their site, so check it out. Okay, let's see. I think the only other finished object I have to share is what I'm wearing. So let me get that set up so you can see it better. Okay, this is the mini mock neck tank by Jessie made, and I am in love with it. I'll stand up so you can see it, but it's got this beautiful, just, oh my gosh, the stitching on the edges, and the underarm is really pretty. I have it tucked into high-waisted jeans, so it's just like a really perfect shirt to wear under things. And the yarn I used, I dyed myself. It's just a fingering weight. I got through this in like a skein and like maybe a quarter of another skein. I made it a little longer than called for, but it's a colorway that I don't have in the shop. It's not something that I know if I'll sell or not. I feel like everybody's dyeing this bright poppy red right now, so I dyed my own version of it, and that's what this is. But if I do sell it in the shop, I'll be naming it Starcrust, I think, because it really reminds me of the red that they use in the 90s movie Romeo and Juliet. If you know, you know. So it'll be, I don't know if it's coming to the shop or not, because I feel like a lot of people are dyeing it, but yeah. That's the color I used, and I love it, and I can really envision myself wearing this a ton. I don't wear my knits as often as I should, because I think I don't make things that are super practical for everyday wear, and this definitely is. So I'm very excited to have it. I made it in a few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and I would knit it again just because I love the fit of it, the look of it, everything. However, I would need to wait a bit because there's so much back and forth purling, and the construction's just a little bit tedious because it's a tank. I haven't made a lot of tanks, so I'm learning that it's not my favorite type of garment to knit. However, I love the finished look, so I might have to just suck it up and deal with it and make some more. Okay, that's done. So now let's talk about, what else? Oh, my whips. Yes, let's go to whips. That makes sense. Okay, these are vanilla socks, knit in a self-striping yarn by Yarn Cafe Creations. And I didn't know she was doing self-striping yarn, and I'm pretty excited about it. When I saw this color, I knew I had to have it. It's so summery and fun. So here it is. It's called Summer Fling. It's blowing out a little bit on camera, but let's see if I can hide my face. Anyway, it's awesome. I love these colors. It's like so bright and fun. Got it set up for an afterthought heel here if you're wondering what that is. And then I'm just using a neutral I had on hand for the cuffs and heels. But yeah, Christy, awesome job on this color. I love it. Okay, that's that. I also have another pair of socks because I'm really into socks right now. And these ones are knit with my own hand-dyed yarn. Last February, I dyed up some Valentine's Day yarns, and so this was one of them. I kept a sock set for myself in the Heartbreaker colorway. So that's what this is. I used like this mulberry accent color, and then the main color is this hot pink with like some warmer reds, whites, and then those like berry tones. So anyway, I'm working on the second sock right now, and it's right here, and then here's what the ball looks like, if it will focus. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I've been holding on to this, and every time I look at it, I want to pick it up and knit it, so I finally decided it was time to use it. So anyway, I just put in the waist yarn for my afterthought heel, and now I'm working on the leg of the sock. And my mom just saw me working on these, and she really liked them, so I will probably end up gifting them to her. Yeah, and then also I should add, it's in my dye schedule to dye more of that sock set. So if you're interested in that sock set, it's called Heartbreaker, and it's coming soon, this month. I know it's a very summer color, but I like to work with color all year round. It doesn't matter if it's fall, winter, spring, summer. I'll knit with hot pink anytime. Okay, next width. This one is the DRK Everyday Sweater. I've been wanting to make this for a while. It's been in my queue since it was released, I think. And I finally decided it was time to cast on, so I did, and I'm using Woolberry Fiber Co. I'm using the colorway Rabbit Rump. My goodness, this cat. Okay, she's in my lap right now, and she's just like clawing me. So it's Woolberry, it's called Rabbit Rump, and it's got these really amazing dark sections of speckles and some lighter grays. So it's a really nice color. And I am alternating skeins because of the speckles and the variegation in it. However, even though I'm alternating, I'm not, unfortunately, getting a super great distribution, but here's the sweater so far. Up top it looks really great, but toward the bottom here the speckles get a little more sparse. So what I might do, because I'm an indie dyer, is go in and kind of hand paint a few extra speckles down here. It's not as bad in the front, thankfully, but the back it like really has some lighter patches, so I might go in and do that. But that's just the nature of hand-dyed yarn. It's not anything I'm upset about or anything that I think they could have controlled when dyeing it. It just is, you know, when you speckle and then you knit in a certain circumference, that's just where the speckles land, you know? So we'll see, but I'm loving it. I tried it on last night, and this neckline, I think I just like really love a thick ribbed neck, and so it's really hard to show it on here because it seems like it's blowing out a bit, but it's really beautiful and I love it, and it fits nice. So I'm excited to have this as a piece in my wardrobe. Okay, I don't know if I have, oh, one more whip to share, one more. Ugh. Okay, so this one is called the Kinsan. I'm doing the t-shirt version, and it's from a book. Ugh, I'll put the name in the comments, but it's by Kiyomi and Sachiko Bergen. And yeah, so I'm using this yarn called Medallia. It's from Sweden. Let's see, is it focusing? And I'm using an accent color in black, an accent color in this light pink, and then the main color is this gray. And I love it. It's a stripy tee. It's just, oh, I just love the vibe. It feels very like late 80s. I don't know. I'm really excited about having it to wear under some high-waisted jeans again. That's all I wear these days, so hopefully those don't go out of fashion super fast. Anyway, I love it. It's really cute. I will say the light pink, I thought the light pink would go so good with the gray and black. I love those colors together, but it looks more white in person than light pink, so that's the only thing that's a bit of a bummer. I should have picked a darker pink, but I love it. So those are my whips. And I'll stop going on and on about them. It's kind of weird to just talk to yourself about the things you're working on, but because I know other people are gonna watch, it makes it less weird. I don't know. Does anybody else feel weird doing this? Anyway, what else did I want to share? I wanted to share, I buried my paper that had all my notes on it. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna share yarn related is a few of my favorite yarns that are coming to the shop this month. So let's see here. This one, if you follow along on Instagram, you would have recently seen, is called Cruel Summer. That song is everywhere right now. Let's see. Hello, can you focus? Okay. It's like a pale lavender base with really fun bright speckles. It's got like aqua, hot pink, it's got some chartreusey stuff, and this deep lavender color, and then on the mohair it just is like really watercolor and beautiful. So that's Cruel Summer. I'll have it on mohair, sock, and DK, I believe. I shouldn't have set these so far away from myself. Ugh. Okay, next up, I don't know what I'm gonna call this yet. I think just like falling leaves or autumn leaves or something like that, but oh, I love this. It took a while to dye because there's a lot of different layers, but it's gorgeous. I love these tones and these colors. This is on plush sock and this one is on twisted sock. I think I'll also have it on DK. I can't remember everything I dyed it on. But if you guys like this, I'm happy to dye some more or add it to the sweater quantity listing. All right, a few more. I also will have sugar cookies. It's that time of year. We're in fall times and I always love to bring this colorway back in the fall. So it's called sugar cookies. I already said that. It's a cream base with some, oh gosh, like a reddish brown, some sprucey green, golden, and like mahogany colored speckles. I'll have this on sock and DK, I believe. Yeah. And then two more. Ugh. Okay, this one is a regular shop colorway that I've had. It's called Mighty Pine. It's this deep, dark pine green color. And the reason I chose to dye it is because Chelsea of True Lane recently dyed the stripy turtle tank using it as the main color, and I thought, gosh, I should really release a few skeins of that in case anybody wants to get their hands on it and make something similar to hers, because hers turned out beautifully. She used complementary other shades of green like minis for her stripes, and that's the main color, so it turned out really beautiful. One thing I will tell you, this colorway and the next one I'm going to show you are dyed in one color, and then once that dye exhausts, I over dye them in another color. It's hard to see here. You'll be able to see it probably on the other skein better, but you get really varied, nice, rich tones with that. So I wouldn't even, it's not a semi-solid. It's definitely more of a tonal because it's not all exactly the same shade of green. Okay, so that said, this is a brand new one I just developed. Oh my gosh, look at that. Okay, so I'm gonna call it Moss or Mossy something. I don't know yet. I haven't decided, but it's got a nice mossy green base and then these really rich golden brown tones throughout as well. So I'm obsessed with this and I might need someone to knit me something with it because there's not enough time and I really want something out of this. So I'll have this on DK and soft singles to start, and again I can add it to the sweater quantity listing if people want it. Okay, those are just some highlights. There's much more coming. I have some more summery like hot pinks. I have more autumnal tones, some test skeins. I've got some orange, some lavender. Yeah, and then I'm gonna keep dyeing, like I said, those Heartbreaker sock sets, and I might do another kind of sock set. I just love sock sets. I know not everyone knits socks, but they're really fun to dye for me, so I'm gonna keep offering them. I also like to buy them. Okay, I think that's all the knitty and yarny content I have. So I was just going to also share a couple of the books I have been reading or I'm planning to read and the movies I just watched, because books, movies, knitting, music, like those are all my favorite things. So I think I'll always share toward the end of the podcast something about those types of forms of art because they're my favorite. So currently I am reading a book called After I Do. It's by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and it's about, there you go. It's about a couple who decides to go, like, get separated essentially, and the whole book is about their experiences being separated and trying to find their way back to each other. And I've been reading it a lot. It's going pretty quickly. It's really easy read, quick read. So I could probably finish this weekend if I actually set aside the time to do it, but I've been spending too much time dyeing yarn and knitting to read. And then next up, I would like to read Lessons in Chemistry. This is a book by Bonnie Garmis, because there's a show on Apple TV coming out with Brie Larson in it, who I love, and I'd like to read the book before I watch the show or the movie that's based on. I just really hate doing it in reverse order because it just makes it not fun for me to read the book. So I think I'm gonna have to read this next because the show comes out in October and I won't be able to resist once it's available. Oh, also I should say I got this through one of my book of the month deliveries. I get a book a month. I think it's like $12.99 or something a month. I can't remember exactly. But there's a link in my bio of my Instagram if you want to use my code to sign up. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not, you know, I'm not affiliated with them in any way. But if you buy a book through my link and sign up, I get a free one. And so I just think it's a fun way to spread it around. You could do the same for yourself too. Anyway, book of the month. Kind of fun to get a new book every month. Okay, and then I was gonna say the movies that I watched this weekend that I liked. While it was very, very cheesy, I watched Love Again on Netflix. So cheesy, but I must have just been in the mood for a cheesy rom-com because I really enjoyed it. I don't even know if we'd call it a comedy. Maybe it was. Anyway, a romantic movie on Netflix. And then last night on Peacock, I watched Hypnotic, which is a Ben Affleck movie. I don't love Ben Affleck, but the movie itself was really entertaining to me until the very end, and then the end was like, not the best ending ever. But it was still really good as far as catching my attention and keeping me interested in figuring out kind of the story and what's going on. So if you haven't heard of that, it's on Peacock now, and you can check it out. Other than that, life updates. I just got back from a week-long, or not a week, but I took some days off. I took about a week off of my day job and dyeing, and I went up north to a lake with my family in Minnesota. A bunch of people flew in, and we went up there, and we had boats and lots of games and just hanging out and quality time. So it was really nice to spend time with my family. My mom does not live in Minnesota, so being able to spend time with her while she was here was wonderful. I did bring my knitting with, but I didn't do very much of it. I just was enjoying spending time with my family, so sometimes I actually put the knitting needles down. It's a surprise, I know. Yeah, that's it. I think August was just so busy, so busy. There was a wedding. One of my cousins got married, a beautiful wedding, and more family in town. So I'm just excited to relax, enjoy the cooler weather. Eventually, it's still in the 90s here in Minnesota. But I will be excited to enjoy some cooler weather later this month, and cozy up with some knitting, and hopefully some new shows and movies will come out. Yeah, I hope you're having a great end of summer, and looking forward to fall as much as me. Talk to you soon.